Sports. When you've got a great ball club. Sports. When you're leaving it all on the field. Sports. When you like your team's chances. Sports. To survive and advance in sports. For the teams you love and the teams you love to hate. Oh, it's Sports Channel 8. Yeah. Sports Channel 8. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Sports Channel 8 is streaming, coming at you on a post-Masters Monday. Josh Goodson has his dream filter on. You did good. I kind of like it.
Oh, I think it literally was I just did this to the, and there was stuff on there. I don't know.
See, I like how you're shooting from your wife's closet, apparently, judging by the scarf collection on the door there.
This is an upstairs bedroom to which, we've had fights over this bedroom because there's literally, so right here, there's clothes there and there's clothes inside there that my wife has not touched since we moved in here in 2018. And I believe whenever we did a little purge prior to baby 2 coming, I was like, look, and I had to do the same thing. We all have clothes that we don't wear forever.
Yeah.
And I do think, I don't want to be stereotyping, but sometimes when it comes to clothes, girls have way more of those items than guys do. But I admit that I probably have a t-shirt that I think is funny or stupid but I haven't worn in 5 years. So I had to do the same thing. But I was like, look, literally you haven't worn it in 4 years. What is going to make me think you're going to wear it again? And you also continue to buy an excessive amount of clothes anyways. So yeah.
Good to know. I'm not Maria Kondo. Is that her name? The paring stuff down, getting rid of stuff lady. And she's hold up an item, whatever it is, clothes, kitchenware, whatever. If you hold up an item in front of you and it doesn't bring you joy instantly, get rid of it, right? I'm not quite to that magnitude, but I have gotten good about going through my actual closet and be like, have I worn this in the past year? No, gone. Admittedly, I do have a stack of t-shirts that roll around, but they're in a crate and they can be put in outside storage. I admit I'm not wearing them, but I am only holding them for sentimental value, but they're not taking up
exactly. They're not taking up space.
They're taking up, back of the storage space.
There's I don't know if y'all can see
Jesus.
and I'm not making it up. This stuff hasn't been touched since we moved in 4 years ago.
All right, this is a great start to Sports Channel 8.
We have
this isn't even the Lily Pulitzer closet. Y'all seen that? This isn't even.
We've gone off the rails first minute. Hit us up in the comments if you have similar problems in your house, male or female, and you could be the female, and that could be your problem with your.
One of them is upstairs winter pants on a box. They weren't worn. Winter's over, and they weren't worn this winter or last winter or the winter before. Winter is not coming to this closet.
What's your clothes update looking like at Joko?
We've got I will second what Goodson said. When we remodeled our bedroom, we built this nice, huge closet. We've never had one. 80% of it is full of Hunter stuff, just all of it, everywhere. And we also have a room like Goodson. We call it the blue room. It's supposed to be the guest bedroom, but we call it the blue room because it's painted blue.
All right,
don't go there.
All right,
and but it's full. It's just it's like the junk drawer of rooms. It is. It's you want something out of sight, put it in the blue room.
Yeah.
It's got clothes. It's ridiculous.
50 Shades of Grey. Don't they have a blue room, or is that it's a red room? So I don't know. I don't want to know what goes on in your blue room. So shout out to Stephanie. It's confession time. She says she's got a Lily Pulitzer problem too. Hit us up with all your closet needs. Maybe we should start an organizing business, and you could pay us thousands of dollars to come to your house and just throw your clothes away.
Hey, look,
no one would ever use that. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you're doing the Marie Kondo thing or whatever her name is, when I pick up my golf clubs, I don't feel joy so that would be bad for me to just toss it. So I don't know.
Oh, wait, I got mine right there. All right, using the binary scale, you can only, it's a black and white, 1 or 0, right? So this is, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Thumbs up, thumbs down, but there's no middle grounds, no hemming and hawing. Was this a good Masters or not? Was this a good Masters? Yes or no? Goodson.
I usually think about these things of my winnings. With that,
it's gonna be tough. You have to remove your own bets from the situation.
Was it a good?
Because in that sense, it was not good for you, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not good for me either.
It wasn't bad. Like I'll be honest, I've never been more happy to salvage what I salvage. I'll put it like that.
Right.
But I'm gonna say 0. But but it wasn't a 0 until the last like 2 days. I'll put it like that.
True. Tiger is.
I thought Thursday and Friday was great. I thought Tiger was playing well. He was in contention. Friday he didn't do bad, but he was still around because the conditions got tough. I was a little worried that the thing that sucked about watching Tiger, if we're talking specifically him, he drove the ball well.
Yep.
He actually drove it well enough. But if you get into the analytics, he couldn't putt for crap. And I think that's the one thing that we all like realize. Like, you can go play down in Florida. You can say he's good to go, right? He's healthy. He can play and he can do it. But you obviously cannot simulate pressure putts or like, I need to make this 6 or 7 footer. So it was nice that he was so far off yesterday that I could watch his entire round yesterday and it not really get into the viewing of actually watching the guys in contention too. So if you're going to suck Tiger, do like that to where you go off first on Sunday and you're not even around.
You can just watch your whole round and then watch the leaders go. Moose, 1 or 0? What was this Masters?
0, mainly because Scheffler took any sort of drama out of the whole thing way early, and I like a Sunday at the Masters that has something to it.
Got to.
And it kind of it tried to like 6 different times, but
yeah.
Scheffler, again, it is a dumb thing to say. He's now won 4 times in the last 6 starts.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you were good. And so I know what I'm about to say is like, he's won 4 times in the last 6 starts. What are you talking about? There's a difference in golf where it's like, are you good? Yes. But I felt like he got every lucky break you needed to get.
Yes.
And just made like, he made, like, if you do the law of averages, how many times did he have like a bad shot and then hit like the perfect chip?
Yes.
Or hit like the 7-foot par that you had to do, or the chip on 3. Like, give me a break.
Or when he was in trouble, Cameron Smith bailed him out by making a mistake. Right. And Scheffler just had to like not make a mistake, you know?
Like he's on an absolute heater right now. Like you obviously have to play well you have to be good to be able to do that, right? What is it people say? Good teams create their own luck, right? Like, and I get it. Like, good players create their own luck, but it just watching him, I feel like it's just, he's very close to like losing it, but then like literally every miraculous shot you needed to make, he made it over the last 2 or 3 days.
We talked about this before. We joked about how it's easier to play golf on the Pro Tour because they've got grandstands that you can hit it off of. And also like you get drops because like where you might be deep in the woods, but you would just have to play from there. Well, like now you're over by a concession tent, so we're not going to make you play because the concession tent's blocking your way, so you can move out. I didn't have the sound on. The 2 pivotal moments were number 3 because Cameron Smith had birdied the first 2, cut the lead to 1.
Yeah.
Scheffler yanks his drive, and then what was the ruling? Like, his drive is in trouble, and then I see him getting a drop and using his club or whatever, but he didn't lose any strokes. I'm like, if I could play golf like that, if I could hit into the woods and just take free drops to where then I can at least see the green, my scores are getting a lot better.
I don't know why us as amateur golfers, when we play, there's like this weird sense of like, you don't want to cheat or act like you're cheating. And so we penalize ourselves.
Well, I'll take a
million times worse and a million times more than a professional golfer does. And just the fact of, like you're saying, we have to go, like, there's not people there looking at our ball. There's not people there like stopping our ball from continuing to roll another 20 feet. Yes. Like, it is harder for us than these guys.
So he yanked it into the woods, takes a drop, hits a not great chip, not great approach shot. They both wind up sort of rolling back on the green. And then he chips in. I'm like, how does he have a 3 on a hole where he took a drop somewhere? No penalty for that. That should not be the case. So that one went down, and that sort of, stopped all of Cam Smith's early momentum. Then when Cam Smith birdied 11, which was huge because that nobody was birdieing that hole, a lot of bogeys. So it almost felt like an eagle to birdie 11. Cameron Smith goes to number 12 and puts it in the water. Basically, at that point, it was over. I know Rory
It was
McIlroy.
a gross shot. It wasn't even like the normal. It wasn't the normal Sunday where you hit the green and you have too much spin on it and it rolls back in.
Come back.
It was just a
You didn't even get it there.
gross shot, and it's only 150 yards.
Okay, so I completely botched this when I posted on Twitter because I meant to say which holes are harder than number 12. But yes, I get that they're making a decision to go at the hole or not or whatever. Like professional golfers, they're either going at the hole, but there's a lot of them are there's a little too much risk going at the hole. So I'd rather just take it to the safe spot on number 12 and take my par. Or if I get lucky, I make the birdie putt. Cameron Smith was, I guess, apparently going at the hole. But we got a lot of holes around here in Raleigh or around Raleigh that are over water that I don't think that I think are harder than number 12. At least not the score on the hole. I'm not saying that I could go on number 12 and make a par.
You're not getting into the green speed. You're not getting into
the slope. I'm just saying keep it dry on your first shot, and then you got 3 or 4 shots to get in with a 4 or 5. I could do that. Cameron Smith, how do you hit it in the water on that hole? I do not get it. I think the closest comparison, and I don't know if anybody listening plays the same golf course as we do, but I think what's the one that we said? Number 12 at Zebulon Country Club. There, because you're elevated, you're kind of hitting down on the green. But I'm not claiming I hit that green every time.
But you're not hitting it in the water. You're not.
Hit the water a lot. And I'm a bad golfer. You don't hit the water a lot, right? Most it's just hit it over to the other side and then go figure out what you're doing over there. And Cameron Smith couldn't do that. What are the other par 3s that are harder than number 12?
8 at Wendell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
8 and 8 at Wendell can play 180 yards.
Yep. Could have wins sometimes.
Yeah, that's
number
a tough
12,
hole.
Yes. 8 at Wendell, it's tough. A lot more water. Water is covering a good third of the hole. This one is just a little creek in front, man. Just hit it over it, Cameron Smith. I don't understand. Any other Masters observations? HV3 kind of fell apart, but it was cool to see him. He had kind of a Tiger-like weekend. Really fun to watch on Friday and Saturday, and then wasn't in the broadcast.
I don't. It was weird because Scheffler's from the U.S. and it seems like he hasn't been. He should be cheer. You should be able to cheer for him, but it was just weird.
No, he's boring.
It wasn't so much boring, but I legit watched him and felt like he got lucky way more than skill, which is a bad thing to say for a guy that's won 4 of the last 6 times. Admittedly, I understand that. But just watching him enough, and I don't know if luck is so much. He hit every time he needed to hit a perfect shot. He did, and I'm like, yo, is that sustainable, or are you the best golfer of all time? I mean, the shot he hit on. He had a couple times, 15, I think. Yeah, 15's the par 5, and it was kind of one of those, you thought he hit one left, and he was kind of blocked out from trees, and you thought he would just punch it down to basically lay up. And he's like, no, I'm going to go hit a 250-yard, screaming hook, and it worked. And I'm like, you're good, but, that's a ridiculous shot that you just hit again. And I felt like I watched him all weekend hit a million ridiculous shots, and I don't know if that's sustainable or not, but
yeah, I think part of the reason the Masters to me was a 0, if it's only the binary score. I'm not saying I didn't watch a lot of it or I didn't enjoy it, but if I have to say, would you say good Masters or a bad Masters? He's kind of like Vijay Singh to me. He's really good and almost robotic now. We like our dudes like Tiger and Spieth. We taking risk reward shots, sometimes missing, and then just pulling it out, which I guess he did a little bit of with that chip and stuff, but he doesn't have the same energy about it.
I had way more fun watching Rory yesterday than Scotty Scheffler. Rory's looked more you are a good golfer and you are hitting just great golf shots one after the other and boom and boom. And like he chipped in on 18, which was kind of insane. That was kind of a crazy, lucky shot. But watching Rory, it just felt like watching Rory and Scottie Scheffler, you're like, wait, how is the guy who's -7 not winning this tournament? And this other guy who I'm seeing blasted left and, doing all this crazy stuff is winning the tournament.
Yeah, it was disappointing that Rory couldn't have been,
2 shots closer or whatever.
A little bit closer to start the day and then see what would go down with it. You sent us the clip earlier today. I love how they were like, I don't know, could Justin Thomas go 5 under and Scottie Scheffler shoot a 73 and then he'd be right in it? And as they're saying that, Justin Thomas tops the hell out of his drive on the driving range. You're like, oh, probably not. He's probably not going to do it today. Other sports this weekend, spring football, the Devin Leary train has begun. He put up 300 yards, I know. Did you watch Josh Goodson?
No, I actually didn't. I saw a few highlights, and you quickly forget that, or you quickly remember that no one's tackling, and he's in black. There's so many guys. It's so funny how they have like guys in jerseys you can't touch, and that ends up being like 8 guys on the field at a time. It used to be just the quarterback. It's like, just don't touch the quarterback, but everybody else, if you tear your ACL, if you break a leg, sucks, but it's fine. Now it's like there's 7 guys in jerseys at any given time that aren't supposed to be touched. No one got hurt. I think that's literally what happened. No one got hurt, and Devin Leary looked good, which I think the way they set it up was they had their one offense going against their 2 defense, and then vice versa. So like the defense the one's defense looked really good against the 2 offense, and vice. So the final score is like 50-7, and it's like at some point do ones versus ones, like at least like give us a series of that. It's like no, like we're running up the score. The Heisman voters are watching. We got
you don't want to risk that preseason top 10 ranking by coming in and be like, 14-13 in the spring game. Offense with the ball.
Well, you couldn't run ones versus ones, right? Because you have 22 guys on the field and 15 of which you couldn't touch.
True,
right?
True. And it was funny. My brother-in-law, they went to the East Carolina spring game, and they said the final score was like 40-40, and they were like giving score, like the defense would get like points for like touching someone. It was like kind of stupid. Like State's like, no, we're running up the score, baby.
Devin Leary will be throwing touchdown passes in this game, regardless of what happens.
He threw like 40 passes in the first half. I'm like, God, what are we doing?
State did one of these, and it's very cool. We see this in spring games. We see it in high school games now, where it's a person who is not capable of playing contact football. Usually, a handicapped person, disabled person, will get the chance to get down there, take a handoff, and sort of score a touchdown or whatever. That's kind of like what they did for Devin Leary. It was sort of like, all right, guys, let's just nobody touch anybody. Let's let him complete 7 passes, 3 of them for touchdowns, and then we'll get him out of there. We'll just paint the picture that we want painted in the spring game. Yeah. Congratulations on no one getting hurt. Moose, you got any report from Dirtbags baseball this weekend?
No, we're not with the Dirtbags anymore.
Oh, it's not Dirtbags. My bad.
Don't misspeak. Yeah, no.
2-1, Moose?
No,
Did y'all go 2-1?
We were the Canes, and we had a good weekend. Goodson, you're going to love this. We won 1. We lost 2, and we tied 1. We went 1-2-1. And
you finished second.
Somehow they finished second in there.
We did not finish second. So
for those who don't know, our conspiracy theory is every youth tournament, one team goes 3-0 and wins, and everybody else goes 2-1 and finishes second, so that every parent can post about how it was a great weekend. We learned some lessons, dropped a tough one to some guys that were a little bit older than us, but overall we went 2-1 and finished second. A real good outing for the gang. That is.
I do have a Masters travel ball crossover moment that happened. So this tournament was put on by Perfect Game, and anybody listening, that's just one of the groups that puts tournaments on. But they also sell merchandise, right? So my kid wanted a shirt, so I walk up to the tent, and who do I hear? The lady is sitting there who has an iPad sitting there, but guess I hear Jim Nance in the background. She's sitting there watching the Masters. And I said, well, how's Tiger looking? Because she said, Tiger's my guy. I was like, how's he look? She's like, he's not, he's doing okay. He's out there. And I said, well, who's still got the lead? She goes, fucking Scheffler, still winning. I was like, yeah, I'm with you there.
I saw your boy hit a home run, Moose.
He did.
Like, what's your reaction when your kid hits a home run? Like he's not even my kid, and I was like, oh hell yeah, hitting home runs. Like are you moved to tears? Do you try?
Actually, I was over to the side talking to some friends of mine, because really it's just you shoot the shit out there, and he's up to the bat, and they're like, "Hey, Riley's hitting." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, it's no big deal, whatever." And
it happens so often, Moose doesn't even care anymore.
No, it really does not. And he hit it, and they're like, "Oh God, he crushed that!" And I couldn't even, from where I was, I couldn't see it go out, and I was like, "What? Holy shit, that's awesome!" So
Did he want the ball? Did he want the ball saved or you?
No, not me. I don't care about that.
Lies.
But, yeah.
Lies.
Best part about it is little kids go run and get it out of the parking lot, and after it crashes through her windshield and all that stuff. So
I think we actually have audio of that home run moment. Here's what it sounded like.
Uh-oh. There, very much.
That was Moose calling his kid overrated before he crashed.
Yes, 100% me.
And then, all right, Goodson, not only are you a fraud for not watching the spring game and not attending the spring game, even though you are the loudest trumpet for the Devin Leary Heisman band that can be heard, you are also a fraud because I caught something on Facebook yesterday from you. Do you have any guess what this is?
Uh-oh.
Mr. makes fun of National Day.
No, I admitted that I usually don't participate. Look, let me tell you something. I'm in the sales business right now. I'm in the sales business.
Oh, we know.
Kids sell. Babies sell even more. And whenever it links up perfectly where there's an unprovoked moment where you can take a picture of a 3-year-old and a newborn and it's cute, buddy, I'm doing it.
This guy. Oh, he's like, it's National Sibling Day, and I can't wait to sell. I meant to comment, and I want to ask you now, like, do you have pictures lined up for 2 months from now when National Siblings Day comes rolling around again? Like, there's a National Siblings Day, there's a Brothers Day, a Sisters Day, there's probably a Brothers and Sisters Day, a National Family but not including Parents Day. So
today's National Pet Day, which I cannot believe today's the only day of that. I cannot believe it.
Well, don't worry. Goodson will have a picture up of the pet that he abandoned after like 2 months just so he thinks he can sell some more mortgages. So go get your mortgage done by Josh Goodson. Celebrate National Siblings Day. That one is totally made up. Like that started 3 years ago on Facebook. I'm convinced of it. There's no National Siblings Day. Get out of here. Quit trying
remember when it was easy? It was just Throwback Thursdays, right? That's the only day that we ever had.
And then actual holidays like Christmas.
Yes.
You would celebrate holidays, birthdays, and Throwback Thursday. Like that's literally the only occasions. Now there's it's disgusting.
Mothers and Fathers, Pie Day. And I assume we Moose, do you know what moons we have this in April? We got a special moon coming up that only
there was a space station something last week too again. Like it used to be the space station thing was like this big deal, and like for whatever reason somebody only went to it once every like 7 years. Now we get like somebody wants to say, go look outside of the Southwest between 7:15 and 7:44. And you'll see the space station. Like, really? You're like, that's Delta flight from Fort Lauderdale to Islip. That's not the space station.
I'm pretty sure there's an eclipse coming up somewhere sometime soon. And we've never seen ever. It's once in a million years.
It's the spring harvest grasshopper moon. I'm pretty sure.
I'm keeping tabs. When the drought monitor comes out this week, if there's drought, get out of here.
It's been raining all week. There will still be drought. And the pollen count. Get your pollen count. We're still pollen count season. These are all the things that local media will beat into the ground and Sports Cheer Late will call them out. Unless you're Goodson, then you're a fraud and you'll use them to sell mortgages. If you want some more of myself, I'll be guest hosting the Adam Gold Show starting at noon.
Sorry, I gotta say one thing. I do need to apologize for one thing.
Okay.
I need to recognize something, but not apologize. I know what happened at Five County Stadium this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. How did I not even bring this up? God, I was rushing.
My question is, are the Carolina Mudcats making rings for sweeping the Wood Ducks this weekend? Are they hanging a banner at Five County? What's the morale like over there? Because the Carolina Mudcats swept the Down East Wood Ducks in the opening weekend this weekend, and it literally is the biggest thing that's happened in Zebulon since the Southland Steakhouse game.
You should at least get some Breaking T-shirts out of it, right? They should be making a T-shirt to commemorate Micah Bellows' 5 doubles in the 3 games of the opening series. But no, it was for those who don't know, Mudcats Wood Ducks is the fiercest rivalry in all of sport, especially in North Carolina. They opened the season a special little weekend stand. So a couple things. It was not a super fun series because it was cold. Like cold in baseball is not good. I had a cold, which made it extra not fun. I was singing the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in a comfy. You know what a comfy is? Because it's like full hood. It's like a blanket hoodie. And I'm like, take me out to the ball. Here's where you need to be worried. The Mudcats are no better than they have been in years past. They might be worse. But the Down East Wood Ducks look significantly worse. I made fun of you saying this, but it felt like for a year or maybe the past 2 I guess we didn't have a year 2 years ago. Last season, there were definitely some dudes that felt like they should be at like double or triple A that were still down in the ratings of the Astros, the Rangers prospects. Like 4 of the top 10 were playing in single A Down East. You're like, this is ridiculous. They're stacking their squad. And they had this like good spirit about them. When somebody would hit a double, he would stand up, put his hands over his head, and do this little hip thrust. Yeah, yeah. And the whole dugout would like say they were like a college team. That the guy would do his hips, and the dugout would say, and it was like so annoying. This year, they look bad, Jack. They are a disaster. Like they were just a clean, well-oiled machine the past couple of years. And it'd be crazy that the Mudcats would like keep it close sometimes. The Mudcats would be playing above their heads. This year, there's a lot of Wood Ducks running in to catch line drives that went over their heads.
No!
I got some more beef we need to talk about at some point. And errors in baseball, huge scam. Who gets them and who doesn't? Like you can play terrible defense, but if you like, these guys would like run in and be nowhere near the ball and be like, well, we're not giving him an error. They're like, he couldn't catch that. But yeah, because he ran the wrong way. Like if he had just stood in place, the ball would have hit him. And they're like not giving him errors because they want to give their own team hits, right? So
hold on. This weekend, speaking of errors, the travel ball community is amazing when it comes to just like coaches that are way too extra in the game.
Yeah.
So we had a kid get a hit. So he hit the ball to right field between second base and first base. And the coach goes to this young kid, that's a mental error on you. You should have been in the right spot. I'm putting it down in the book.
There's all kinds of errors that never get called. But yeah, Wood Ducks were like trying to throw people out, stealing and throwing it into the outfield, giving up extra bases. It looks bad. So it might be a long season. Hope the Natty Lights are hitting well down in Wood Ducks. And our man Brian Hanks not even doing PA down there.
No,
wheels are coming off. You know what they need? They might need a new investor. Somebody in this show might need to become a part owner of the Down East Wood Ducks.
The Movement Mortgage Wood Ducks. I like it.
I will say, a couple of years ago when the Mudcats came up for sale and the Brewers bought them, there's part of me that's like, what would it have taken to buy the Mudcats? Like, I don't have the money, but could I have found the people? So
how was the crowd this weekend?
Better than I thought.
Because it was cold.
Friday was opening day, real good crowd. Saturday we were giving away a T-shirt. People love free stuff, decent crowd. Sunday afternoon,
the T-shirts so they can go into their closets right up here.
Mudcats T-shirts you wear.
I will say, and I know we got to run. Watching baseball, I could watch football in the cold. Baseball in the cold, it's a no-go. And it's like soccer too. Like I can remember like playing soccer younger and such. Baseball in the cold is just no. It moves way too slow to like make you feel like you're like to help you not remember that you're cold.
And the whole vibe of every time I'm at a baseball game, I want to be pondering, should I take my shirt off? Like that's not a baseball game. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, give me July the 20th.
Yeah.
Give me a 7:00 July 22nd.
Yes.
Where it's still like 90 and you're sweating. And then by the time you get to like 8:30 or 9:00 to like the fifth inning,
Perfect.
It feels great, and the beers are just cold and great, and that's way better than cold baseball.
Yeah, the vibe of cold baseball is never good, but the Mudcats will be back next week, so we get a week off, and of course now it warms up the day after they're gone. So the Mudcats and Wood Ducks will meet up many more times. I have no doubt the Wood Ducks will end up winning the season series, but I'm just telling you, they do not look quite as stacked as they have. The Mudcats are not as intimidated. The veneer is off. All right, for Weather Moose, Josh Goodson, the playoff-bound Canes, the play-in-bound Hornets. They play Wednesday night against the Hawks. We'll talk that with BG on Wednesday and also on the Adam Gold Show. Tune in. I'll be filling in. We'll have various Sports Channel 8 folks stop by. For the crew.
Oh, we will. I wouldn't know. I haven't got the invite.
Yeah, okay. BG will stop by to talk Hornets. Come on, please.
Okay.
All right. For the crew, we're out.
Sports, when you've got a great ball club. Sports, when you're leaving it all on the field.